It's great against the Queen of Pain. Clockwork doesn't do too much against it. You can't really pressure with the Clockwork. You need Lion to have levels, but then you've got a Bounty as a support. I think Mousesports needs a carry that can kind of zone out the... Yeah, okay, so they're going to take the Phantom Lancer. I think they needed a hero that can much dual lane, and so Way 2 is going to be playing the Lion. I don't know this is going to go because Pylai Dai is going to kind of roam around, and the Lion's not really going to get too much space by himself.
Right.
It's gonna be. I think to me, Pylai Dai is one of the. Pylai Dai is probably one of the best heroes. I mean, one of the best players to zone people. I think he's really, really good at zoning.
Right.
And with having almost no items as the position 5. I mean, I know that Bounty Hunter it's like one of his favorite heroes. So playing it clearly, but I'm not entirely sure how good Way 2 is gonna do the zoning in comparison.
Yeah, and
well, fortunately we have a pawn, so I guess we'll stick around a little bit longer. Talk about
what do you think about anti-mage just in general this patch? Like, it seems kind of antithetical to what you want to do this patch, which is, you know, ball up, win early, and this hero is somebody that wants to have the game not necessarily go uber late, like super late, but he wants it to go late, like past 35 minutes for sure.
You would say his prime period of time is usually like 40-45 minutes, right, where he's usually got at least 5 or 6 slots, but all right, guys, so we're getting into now our first game of Mousesports and eHug. We're going to leave it to Blitz and K-Pop to casting for this series.
yeah, so I kind of wanted to talk actually about the anti-mage pick. I think that the anti-mage, it's kind of a response to what Mouse have. They don't have the best lockdown aside from the Lion, who needs levels. But if you assume that the Lion and the Bounty Hunter, I think that's one of those things that they read. They were like, okay, there's a Bounty Hunter. It's only going to be a Lion. That Lion is going to be zoning the Clockwork most of the time. He's probably not going to have the, or the Nyx most of the time, I'm sorry. So he's probably not going to have the best time in terms of getting a Blink Dagger, in terms of getting levels.
Exactly. Yeah, if you are going to pick an anti-mage, this would be the right time to pick it, I think. It's just, it's really, really odd in this meta, I think. We haven't seen a hard carry of his like in a while. Yeah, but it's weird because the American scene loves their anti-mage. Like, more so than any other scene, America picks it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those iconic heroes as well. It's probably one of the heroes.
He's fun.
Yeah, if you're a carry player, you know how to play anti-mage, and so for eHug, obviously anti-mage is a hero that has this really weird power curve, right, where he gets 6 slotted faster than any hero in the game,
right,
and then all of a sudden he just like tapers off.
Exactly. So I think that actually kind of works in this meta a little bit. Is he farms really? He's almost like a light version of Alchemist, where he's not quite as hard into that getting 6 slotted immediately, but he's kind of the same thing, just pushed back about 5-10 minutes, right? But he can farm fast, and he needs to farm fast, but he doesn't do terribly well once the other carry gets 6 slotted.
And Bloody Nine kind of just messing with Pylai Dai, and Pylai Dai just doing his standard stuff, trying to mess with the supports,
right,
to make life difficult for them.
Yeah, he's all about blocking these camps. Usually you see the Bounty Hunter as a counter to the Chen more so than just, you know, regular lineup like this, but he's just really, really interested in making sure these blocks and these pulls don't happen.
Yeah, and Pylai Dai getting quite low, but should be able to walk away from this, but... Oh, he's actually got 11...
Oh, wow. That level 1 Thunderstrike.
That most surprising.
I think that does more damage than just about any other nuke at level 1 in the game. Thunderstrike does.
It was more surprising that Pylai Dai sticked around for so long, considering he wasn't going to win that trade. Like, with the sentry right there, if one support rotates over, you're dead.
Yeah.
I think you have to get out of there, and that's actually such a huge kill. And he's now going to rotate at bottom, but MJW has done decently enough for himself here at this bot lane and being harassed down a little bit.
Good job with the double hit from Pylai Dai.
It's actually dipping quite low, and the Lances are there to follow.
Will they get it? Yes,
one more hit, and yeah, they're able to get the kill. Pylai Dai with that Orb of Venom, making a good rotation, and that's what they need. The first death wasn't the best thing in the world, but the second kill that you set up kind of makes up for it in a sense.
Right, exactly. And Pylai Dai does give First Blood more than any other player on Mousesports. I think he's given up that would make like 11, I think. Over his time with the team, but I think that's okay because he always puts himself in a position that if it goes well, it's going to go exceptionally well, and if it goes bad, he can recover. Right? Yeah. He was in a situation there where, yes, he gave up First Blood, but he blocked a couple of camps, messed up things, like got Bulba a good start in lane, and then he was able to rotate bottom after dying and getting a kill. So it makes the best out of a bad situation generally.
I was actually just about to point that out. I said a boot. About to point that out because the Clockwork is level 3 compared to the level 1 Nyx Assassin, and so you're okay with this type of trade because Bulba's had such a good time. And so I feel Pylai Dai kind of embodies that principle of tactical feat. Like, you die, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
Exactly.
So
of course, it's better if you don't die, but if you do die, it's not the worst thing.
I mean, he'd be pretty glad just to kind of with him there and be able to get out with 10 HP, but
exactly.
And he's actually making his way back up here, and Justin is getting a little bit low. There's no way they're able to kill him, but they're just trying to mess with him and get him as low as possible. And Pylai getting a few hits and just forcing the anti-mage out of the lane. And this is what you need to do. You need to disrupt his rhythm.
Exactly.
Like, take him out of that Battle Fury timing. And right now, it's going just decently enough for them.
If you're at home watching this Bounty Hunter, wanting to, spice up your life with a little support Bounty Hunter, watch how Pylai is always in position to get that Shadow Walk hit while he's in the fade time. Every time he goes for it. Because if you're careful and you hit the first hit with the Shadow Walk while it's still fading, you get that extra bonus damage at the beginning and the end as well when you come out of it. So if you're at home and you want to really improve your Bounty Hunter play, that's when we do it.
Yeah, and at top, the Cask to Fly.
Oh, he's got the Melodic on him too. It's going to be a lot.
And 2 more hits should be able to clean Pylai up again. But again, Bulba able to survive, misses the cogs, but a free kill up the top. And again, Pylai goes down, but... at that one,
that one was not good.
You're not happy with that one if you're Pylai,
no.
But you have to be ready for that. There's 2 supports up there. You've got the anti-mage that can blink in, and I really like the decision by the Witch Doctor to go for that Maledict because they realize the heal isn't so necessary.
Right, exactly. They're going to be dealing with burst damage. Like it's going to be Pylai coming in to get some quick damage with the Clockwork, or it's going to be nothing.
Yeah, and so Bloody Knight picks up an Invis Rune. Looks like he wants to make his way mid, but he doesn't have the Disrupt, and Pylai again about to be found out in this middle. They actually start pinging around this area.
This is really smart sentry ward placement from eHug.
Yeah, it's better than just putting it straight in the middle lane because the most important thing is that you want to spot the rotations between the top and the mid lane, and so doing just that. And MJW, though, has been zoned out of the off lane, sitting at level 2 right now, and that's the power of the PL.
He almost got that courier.
And at top, Cast a Fly. So does the Maledict. Bulba's out of mana right now, but this shouldn't be enough damage, but just enough to harass him out. He does have a salve, so he should be okay. And Quakefa in this mid lane is getting quite low, but he should be okay. He's got the blink up. He's just going to bottle. I assume he would bottle Crow just because of the timing of this, and Crow's actually going to head for top. And the middle, Sonic Wave to Fly, but Quakefa doesn't have enough quite yet. There's the follow-up, Scream of Pain, and Pylai rotation, able to make that kill happen. TP gets cancelled at the last second, but the Queen of Pain, who was doing quite well for himself mid, just does a little bit better now.
Yep. So I think this has been pretty even so far. I think Mouse has come out a little bit ahead because I think they're winning 2 out of 3 lanes. They're not doing so well top relative to the other lanes, but Black is getting exactly what he wants bottom, and they just got to kill mid, so it's doing pretty well for them.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to watch this game and say, like, oh, Pylai feeding, but at the same time, look at how much space he's created. He's able to create a lot of space for Bulba at top. He got the kill on MJW at bottom. He made stuff happen in this mid lane. And the thing about the Queen of Pain Viper matchup is that Viper is incredibly annoying to Queen of Pain.
Right.
But if Queen of Pain just has a little bit of help, she starts to get 1 or 2 items like treads, then I think she does fine.
Right, exactly.
So this bottom, Way 2 is going to camp out the rune. Absolutely needs it, and he's actually just going to take it for himself.
If you're support, what types? If you can get like a haste rune or an invis rune, do you prefer having a bounty rune over something like a regen or even an illusion? Probably as a support?
Because a regen is situational, right? Sometimes it's going to work out really well for you if you're support. Like if you just spent all your mana harassing the offlaner. I think illusion on certain heroes, like if you get one at level 2, then it really helps you to zone out the offlaner. It's like one of the more broken things, but yeah, the bounty rune, especially for a hero like Lion who's not going to get the most space possible.
He's going to get a lot of levels, though. He's almost to level 5, 6 minutes in, which is pretty good for kind of a solo babysitting support with Pylai roaming around.
I think a large portion of that, too, goes to the fact that MJW went to the mid lane, kind of camped there, because he kind of saw the gank coming.
Right.
And as soon as he left, the bounty hunter kind of just strolls in, is able to pick up the kill. And so if MJW doesn't really contest this off lane, it means that Way 2 can just continuously pull.
Exactly.
Do the pull through repeatedly. And at the top, they don't really have that luxury as Bulba's had such a good start with 20 CS already in the off lane against a tri lane.
Yeah, they've won 2 of these 3 lanes, and the other lane they're not losing quite as bad as everyone else is. And here we're going to have a big fight in mid. The spike goes in. Infinity's looking bad, but a great spike from MW. Will Infinity make it out? He will not. And they'll turn around on him, and this is not going to look good for eHug.
Yeah, he doesn't have the spike carapace up, and he goes down, and that's a double kill for Quakefa. Quite a big thing for a player that's known for snowballing.
Oh, yeah. On a hero that's not snowballing as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you said it yourself. This is one of those heroes that Mao's love to play. This is one of the more prevalent heroes in this patch, and giving up 2 quick kills after that Queen of Pain. I think that's his 3rd one as well. My eyesight's terrible, as most people know, so I can't really read the screen. Can you verify?
He is 3-0. All
right, so he's 3-0 with the top net worth in the game, and as a Viper, you kind of pick it as a hero that isn't meant to dominate in terms of CS, but you're just meant to keep the other person from CSing. And now, with those 3 kills, almost doubling the Viper net worth now at just 8 minutes into the game.
Exactly. Now, if you're doing this well as a quad, what's your normal item choice against a lineup like this?
I think you still need to get a BKB. It just kind of depends. If Quakefoot was having a terrible game, I would say that he would need to get a BKB as a first item. But I think things like Aghanims, even Necro 3 would be okay here, in my opinion. Like, I think getting a Necro 3 would actually be really decent.
They loop around here.
Yeah, and going for the dive, the stun to follow as well. MJW going to go down really quickly, and Ja has to be careful as well because there's not much stopping them, and they're actually not going to chase that out.
Don't you hate that TP timing, though, when you TP to save your friend and you get there just as he dies, and you're like, oh, man,
you're not really
die too.
Luckily, the stun and the Hex were on cooldown, and it didn't look like they wanted to commit for it. What Ja was out of mana, and in this mid lane again, Infinity. I mean, they're just encamping him all game, and now it's clockwork to follow. And he hasn't been showing himself, but because he has to realize at this point, any sort of rotation is able to kill him with that Queen of Pain, and this bottom tower should be going down quite soon. Splat just starts to chip away at it with the Ring of Aquila up and Glyph to fall, but I mean, Jaws doesn't have the most mana and HP. The Nyx Assassin doesn't really have the levels required to
he's
contest
just
this.
now level 4. This has been a really rough lane for him. Phantom Lancer, one of those heroes that are so annoying to lane against, just spamming out lance after lance. And yeah, you can carapace it, but it's almost not worth the mana cost to constantly carapace it.
Yeah, and Bloody Nine makes the rotation for this bottom lane, and I think he had the right idea there. I think that you need to somewhat contest when that tier 1 tower is going to fall, especially to a hero like just the Phantom Lancer and the Lion, but meanwhile at top, Justin, I mean, he's just been contested so much this entire game. Like, even when you go for kills, you do push out the lane, and you're seeing the benefits of that right now for Bulba. So this mid matchup, I mean, the Queen of Pain now is absolutely dominating. It looks like he's actually going to go for the Orchid.
It's rough at Viper when before 10 minutes you're having to kind of chill at your own tower when the creep wave is in the middle.
Yeah, it's one of those things too. It's just demoralizing, right? Like, I play this matchup a lot. If you're losing a matchup as especially as the Viper, you're just kind of thinking to yourself, like, boy, what am I going to do? I don't have a flash farm mechanic. I don't have the best way to go around and gank because I'm in a mobile slug humanoid flying thing. Like, I'm not meant to go for
My
kills.
wings aren't even on right, they're on backwards.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, he has backwards wings.
Yeah, and he's got a huge underbite as well. I don't know why that affects
He just doesn't have anything going for him in life right now.
So the Viper, I mean, a hero known to dominate the lane isn't able to do so. He's actually falling quite behind in terms of net worth, and
Pai's even messing up these stacks as much as he can.
Yeah, just being able to invade the jungle this early, and again, Justin's just not having the best time at top. And at bottom, I kind of just want to focus on the Nyx's levels if we're just able to take a look at that. He's only level 4 at almost 11 minutes into the game, and this is with Pai devoting his time between this top and mid lane.
Right. If you have no Vendetta right now, you don't have Viper doing well at all. Like, what is your... How do you force fights? How do you get pickoffs right now? You can't. And they don't really want to play... They're somewhat okay with playing a little bit passive because of their anti-mage, but they want to make space for them. They don't want to just sit back on all lanes. They want to be aggressive in their other lanes so the anti-mage can be free.
Yeah. And when you play this type of style that Mouse is playing, where you have two kind of farmers in the mid and the carry role, I think this is what has to happen. You just have to consistently rotate with your supports. And in this mid lane, Bulba with the hook shot. There goes the Finger of Death. 3 ultimates used in succession. I mean, if Infinity was feeling bad, he's going to feel even worse as after ult to fly, but definitely worth it.
I like Quake for there. He's like, give me that kill. I want it.
Got to get that last hit. Not even going to wait for the screen.
Got to get that stats page. I got to keep my KDA super high.
Yeah, so Quakefoot, they're going to push out this mid tower, and with no Viper here to contest it, I mean, they don't have the best way to kill him. Bloody Nine has to hit level 6. That's what eHug are kind of waiting right now for. They need to hit this kind of level timing where they get the level 6 on the Disruptor, so he gets his ultimate. You've got the Vendetta as well to help, and Jaw actually gets the deny!
Clutch deny, that base damage from Witch Doctor.
Go you, Jaw. They needed something to stop the bleeding, and that's one of those, like,
feels good.
Get out of here kind of moments. And so Quakefoot actually going to opt to go for that Orchid. And at top, Bulba going to make his move on Bloody Nine, but Bloody Nine not going to be able to get out of there as Quakefoot rotates in on a mega kill. And Justin, he is tracked up, but they shouldn't be able to get more out of this. But again, that's just another kill that adds the way of Mouse. And you talk about a snowball lineup. You've got a bounty hunter on top of a Queen of Pain that's got a lot of kills, and this is what's happening now, is that Black just kind of gets to skip between a tier 2 and a tier 3 tower to farm.
Right. It's one of those things where they really shouldn't have won the lanes as hard as they could, but there was a chance. If everything went well for them, if Pylai Dai did just what he needed to do, and they were able to zone out the Nyx Assassin, they would manage to win the lanes, and if they won the lanes, there was really no way of stopping them.
Yeah, and in this mid lane, Jaw's going to get tracked up.
Pylai Dai, he's been chasing after couriers this entire game, but he hasn't had one just quite yet.
Yeah, he's actually, it's really smart. Do you notice what he's doing? He's just kind of floating between the mid and the top and tracking people as they walk by to make sure that they're not ganking Black.
Right.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Tower to fall again at top as Quakefa just continues to kind of snowball. And
they have all this pressure like on the map now. They can throw down some wards in their jungle if they want to. Like, they just have control over so much of the map. Like, it's this early in the game, they probably have control over 70%. Like, eHug probably only feels comfortable on like that right third.
Yeah, and that's so smart to bring up, just because when you play as a team like Mouse, where you need to take up 70% of the map to farm between two heroes, I think that absolutely has to happen. And Justin's forced down into this bottom lane. And so we've got Black, his first game in 6.84.
He's all about PL. He plays a really good one.
He's one of the fastest farmers in the Western scene as well. Like, when he joined Mouse, I was like, okay, that's the perfect fit. They need a player like that. You don't quite know how it's going to work with a player like Quakefa, who's kind of known for being that greedy one position mid. But I think for them, it comes down to how the supports and Boba play. Like, if they can just constantly rotate, I think it's okay.
The patch kind of forced him into it. I think it was good, because I think if we were still on 8-3 and we were still like into these super late game farming heroes, it would be a little bit worse for Quakefoot, because he would think that running two super greedy heroes would work. Whereas now you're running heroes like Queen of Pain, who can be a bit of a greedy hero. You want to get a lot of farm on her, but she has mechanisms to deal with it if she doesn't get it. Like, she doesn't have to be the #1 on net worth. It's just really nice if she is.
Yeah, and Justin taking a bit of a beating at bottom, and he still doesn't have that Battle Fury, but
oh man,
I mean, there just hasn't been space made for him this so far, and Pylai Dai being level 6 just being annoying, and I think he's just going to hit him and walk away.
Yep.
Yeah, and so Pi following him into the jungle. They're pinging it out, but can they get the rotations necessary? The Queen of Pain's coming in as well, but Justin smartly should just link up here. And the TP comes in. Boba's in position with that hook shot, able to get that last. Roshan wants to piece of him as well, but able to get out, and man, that's brutal.
Yeah, I don't see much of a way to come back here for me. If you, what is the way eHug comes back? Do they just get a lucky fight, maybe catch Mao's Roshing and get a lucky fight there, like, or do they just need to really turtle, defend high ground well, and hope their anti-mage comes back? Because 10k gold lead at 15 minutes is not great.
One of the more rough scenarios that I've seen a team put in.
Right.
But I think for eHug, the smart thing to do here is just don't panic. Like, things are looking kind of bad, but you just stick to the game plan. Try to pressure Black when you can using the Disruptor, because Disruptor is one of those heroes that is meant to be passive. Like, you have to be aggressive with that ultimate, because he doesn't have the best mechanics for coming back into the game, and so Bloody 9 finally starting to do that. He's still only level 5, and that's kind of concerning to me, because he needs to pick up that crucial level 6 to be able to do anything. And even at this point, with how much farm Black and Quakefa have, it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to have the impact that he wants. But I think the correct thing to do is he gets level 6, you smoke, and you try to find the Queen of Pain or Black to slow them down. I think if you're eHug, you should kind of go for that morale kill, and I think you would go for the Queen of Pain here.
I would agree with that. And yeah, you're completely right about Disruptor, because Disruptor's kind of a hero that you want to force retreats. Exactly, like if they're at the tower and you force them to back off and you catch someone with a glimpse and get a free kill, or you win a fight and you catch someone still leaving. Like, you don't want to be in a situation where you're the one having to retreat as Disruptor, because his kit isn't really useful for that.
Yeah, and that's actually the smartest way I've seen it brought up, because whenever I see a team winning with it, the hero feels actually like the most dominant thing in the entire world. Like you said, most for things to go, and then they run away, but against a hero like Disruptor, it screws up your timing so hard, because you just get to glimpse, you're so far behind that nobody's going to save you, you get blown up, instantly it's a 4v5 and you can't take that fight, and a 3-man hook's going to fly, but Boba's just kind of getting out there, and he lays down the cogs, and he's got a hatred, and a lot of ultimates being expended for him to double stun. Queen of Pain, Scream, and a Sonic Wave to fall, and Bloody 9 getting quite low, and the TP coming in from Black as well, but Infinity manages to get that out, and the Queen of Pain blinks away, and Pylai Dai kind of in the middle of nowhere. There is a Sentry Ward down as well. They need this kill.
Here comes Black.
Oh, and he's beating away on Infinity, and he should go down as well. Pylai Dai is perfectly fine, and a 3-for-1 trade, just so much was expended for Bulba.
That was such a, not clean engagement from Bulba either, right? He went in, he kind of yellowed in because he had a high strength, thought he was going to be able to get out, gets glimpsed back into a static storm and dies, but it doesn't matter because Mouse is just so far ahead. By making them commit to a fight, wasting a static storm on a single hero, they're able to clean up afterwards. So.
Yeah, and so eHug, I mean, they had the right idea. If they're going to get into a fight, that wasn't a terrible one. Infinity did the right thing as well, breaking that TP from Black, but he was fast enough. He's got boots of travel, and Ayasha was able to just kind of hightail it over there. And
exactly.
You want to kill Bulba there, yes, but the amount that you just had to expend to do it isn't the best trade.
Right, I agree. And that's why this boots of travel, this really early boots of travel pickup is so smart for Black, because in this meta, you want your carry to be able to fight. You want him to be able to TP the lanes and get there fast and be able to contribute and then go back to farming. And boots of travel is the best item to really make that happen.
Oh yeah, completely. And I think Black has kind of had this reputation of being one of those players that just ignores his team and continues to farm. And right there, you just kind of saw an attitude shift where it's like, okay, my team's in trouble. Yes, I'll kind of drop this farming and try to rotate over and help. And Bulba picking up this bottom rune, just a bounty, so not being able to do much. And like you said, not the most clean engagement, but does he even care at this point?
He just wants to force the other team to engage. If you can make him stick around for just a little bit, the rest of his team can come in and clean up. So it was smart by Bulba.
Yeah,
because he almost took him off guard. Because why would you hook in the 4 heroes from the other side? You're literally behind us. You're at where our tier 2 used to be, and you're hooking into us.
Yeah, they were probably just like scrambling. They're like,
what do we do?
Yeah, so
it worked out really well.
Continuing to just kind of hunt around the map, and with all of this tier 2 tower being taken at bottom, it just opens up so much for him. He's able to go so aggressively, and he's got a blink dagger now as well. Just more for eHug to worry about, and now they're stacked up as 4 because they're so afraid of this bounty hunter and this clockwork to be able to rotate in, and that just continues to create further space right now for Mouse.
Justin does have his Battle Fury now. 18 minutes is not the worst considering the situation. Is there ever a situation where you give up on the Battle Fury, ever? Or do you just always need it to be legitimate as anti-mage?
It's one of those weird things. You know, when you get a Hand of Midas, it's because it helps you with levels and it helps you get further ahead.
Right.
And then you see the catch-up Midas where you're so far behind that it helps you catch up. It's like a weird paradox where the Battle Fury helps you get ahead, but at the same time it'll help you catch up.
Right.
I think that in 99% of cases that you would pick it up anyways, regardless of what the timing is.
Yeah, I don't really... I kind of fooled around with that myself, messing around in pubs, not getting Battle Fury, but it's just... You just need that. The whole point of that hero is to get farmed fast. Like your blink is good because you can blink the camps fast and farm them fast. Like that's kind of the idea. And so you need something like a Battle Fury. Otherwise, you just don't feel like you do anything.
Yeah, I saw some Russian team build. What was that item called? A Vanguard into the what is that?
Silver Edge?
No, what was that item that upgrades into Vanguard? It's
Crimson Guard.
Yeah, he
Crimson Guard.
Crimson Guard first item, and I felt that was kind of interesting, and it worked for like the first 20 minutes, and then he had like absolutely no farmer damage.
Exactly. Vanguard anti-mage used to be the thing, right? You would get that first, but
Pylai Dai gonna get caught out right now, and MJW making his way back, but Pylai Dai is just trying to avoid the stun. This is more space creation by death, I guess, but... Oh, and the hook falls in as well. Quakefell with the double sonic wave. Bloody Nine getting quite low, but Justin in the rear going to help out, but Bloody Nine's getting a little bit lower, and there's just so many heroes right now swarming in for Mousesports on top of eHug, and Infinity's going to get daggered as well, and Bulba's on the chase. Invis is up, and eHug just has to get out of here as 3-man rotation. The Earth Spike is well to fall. Bulba's got a DD on top of that, and Way2's on a kill spree. I mean, they're just being overrun at this point.
eHug has enemy heroes initiating on them from behind them. They're at their own secret shop, and they have clockworks, like almost from their own base hooking in. They have Way2, like came up the ramp behind the secret shop to engage. Like they have no control over their map right now, and they know it.
Yeah, at this point, it's one of those things, too, that you're just killing them with impunity. You don't really care where the other heroes are.
Coming from. You can be sloppy, and it's fine.
Yeah, and that's something I want to point out, is that people will say, okay, well, Mouse are so sloppy, but at the same time, it's just because they're so far ahead enough that you don't have to take the most clean engagements.
It's almost like a morale thing, too. It's like Ben always talks about how you don't, like Merlini says, if you're going to GG, you might as well do it early to keep yourself from getting on for the next 5 minutes so you don't lose morale. And this is almost a thing for Mouse to be a little loose with their play, to have fun, get some kills, like make eHug feel bad and make themselves feel great, because that's going to carry on to the next game, because the chances of eHug coming back in this game are not great. So it's really smart for Mouse to kind of play up the psychological angle of we can come at you from way whatever, we're going to dominate you, we're going to dominate the series.
Yeah, something I want to point out is that in my time in Korea, I kind of felt that fear as well. There was a point where, actually, hold that thought, as Bloody Nine's going to get initiated on the Orchid to fall as well. Koikfa does get the hit off his Bulba. Bulba into fly. The Disruptor does lay down his ultimate, and
doesn't really
Highlight Guy gets ultimated as well, but Justin's just going to kind of run away, and Koikfa's beating on him. He is backed up, so one more hit should do it, and he does die in that backline in Infinity, being pushed back by the Cogs. He is tracked up as well, and Way 2 is being man-fought, and MJW coming in from the rear is able to get the double stun is there as well. And actually, he's going to fall as well, and they're going to go for the bait. And oh my god, MJW's out of mana, not in the best position.
But he just can't do
That's
anything.
the third track kill in a row as Koikfa picks up an ultra kill. Meanwhile at top, Black doesn't even need to participate in that fight. He's got the boots of travel up, but doesn't even feel like it's necessary. And GG, well played, is called by eHug as
not too soon.
Mouse takes a 22-minute victory, and it's a dominant one as well.
Yep. As we saw, gave up first blood, but it doesn't really matter. He did it in the best way possible.
Yeah, I completely agree there. Like you said, I mean, we can't talk about it enough. A Pylai, yeah, he died, but at the same time, he gave Bulba so much space to be able to do what he wanted. And eHug's going to go down in that first game. And, I mean, is that kind of what we all predicted to happen or expected?
Maybe not that strong. I think we all expected Mouse to at least 1-1, like they would at least win.